Hey guys, just doing a bit of pain at the moment, but I got something that I wanted to talk about. Bit of a video that's a long time in the making, really. And as the title suggests, it's about Games Workshop and how they necessarily maybe alienate themselves from the gaming community. Now, what do we mean by this? Well, for a long time, the new year for gamers can mean several different things. It can mean a new army release that everyone gets excited about. We just had Necrons, there's rumours of Tau and Chaos around the corner, things like that. They're all for the new year. This new year is even more special with 6th edition is coming next year, so that's even something more to look forward to. Although I don't really think the game meta needs changing that much, but that's another video for another day, so we'll leave that just there. Or new year could mean a new army project. Like for myself, I just started doing Tyranids, which is what I'm painting at the moment. Just painting a Trigon. So the new year can mean different things to different people. Although for the last couple of years, we've all come to terms with the fact that the new year generally means a GW price hike. And while it's annoying, I can actually handle a price hike because I'm studying business and the economy and how things work. Inflation, even though I don't believe in inflation, I think inflation is a man-made thing just to help the very rich make even more money. But again, that's another video for another day, so I won't go into that into any more detail. But due to inflation things, prices are going to go up every year, so I can sort of handle a bit of a price hike every now and again. It's just something you have to deal with when you're buying things and everything goes up. The price of your grocery shopping, fuel for your car, everything goes up every year. There's nothing we can do about that. You just sort of have to suck it up and pay the extra price. The thing that really annoys me, and particularly with Games Workshop, is when not only does the price go up, but the quality and quantity of what you get for that price goes down. Now, what I mean by this is, a few years ago, when I was not necessarily just starting, but when I seriously started putting together my first army, my Ultramarines, like everyone else when they first start playing, you could get a box of Tactical Marines for like 15 quid or something, and in that box you got like a plasma cannon, a missile launcher, a las cannon, a heavy bolter. You got all the goodies that you needed, because heavy weapons were an option for the Tactical Marines, so they supplied you with some of the heavy weapons. Now a Tactical Marine box is, I don't know, 20 quid. Someone help me out here. I've not bought a box of Tactical Marines from Games Workshop for God knows how long. I think 20 quid. I'm not going to look online. I think that's about right. 22 quid. So the price has gone up. Now over a few years, the price to go up, like I said, a few seconds ago, you've got to expect that. Prices are going to increase all the time. But I don't expect the quantity of the box to decrease quite so much as well. Now you look at Tactical Marine box, 22 quid or 20 quid or whatever. There's no heavy weapons in there. I think you get a missile launcher because it's like, I think it's they're free to put on tactical squads. No power fist or power weapon for your sergeant, which has become pretty much fundamental when you put together Space Marine army. You need that power fist on your sergeant, or power weapon if you're going for the the horde killing option of more attacks. But either way, you need these options that you're just not getting anymore. So it's sort of a double whammy. Not only are you having to pay more for the initial thing, for the initial Tactical Marine squad, but then you're getting less for your money, which means you then have to go and buy a Devastator box, because the Devastator box comes with everything you need. So that's another £20 investment. And yeah, you can see why from businesses Games Workshop do it, because it means it increase return customers, because we then have to go back and buy something else. increases their profit because we have to buy something else, and at the end of the day they turn over more stock, which means they can use more lean production methods and reduce their costs even further. So it makes sense from a business point of view, but they've got to remember this is a hobby related business, and if you make it so expensive, people just aren't going to do it. This isn't a necessity. I play Warhammer and Games Workshop related products because I enjoy it, because it makes me happy and I have fun when I do it, and you can meet new people, interesting people all the time through having a hobby, and that's what it should be. It's fun, about meeting people and having a good time. But if it got to the point where my income couldn't support it, I'd pack it in, because having fuel in my car and food on the table and a roof over my head is essentially more important than a hobby. And that's where Games Workshop will run, because they get to the point where they're going to alienate all the gamers and everyone's going to jump ship, which is already happening. I mean, I know plenty of people that have already packed in 40k in Fantasy and have gone to War Machine and Privateer Press and other games and Flames of War, just for the sheer fact that it's more cost effective and monetarily manageable. So there's a line that Games Workshop have to realise they're going to cross, and it's not as if they need the profit. They will sell enough to make the same levels of profit if they reduce the price by a few pounds. It's the whole price times quantity argument. Do you sell a few at a high price, or do you sell a lot at a lower price? And Games Workshop can meet in the middle, because people are still buying now. So even if they drop a few a few pounds off the price, people are going to buy even more. I mean, even if you're not going to jump ship to a different game system, they're going to find cheaper alternatives to buy it. I myself have already done it. I've not made a major purchase from Games Workshop in years. I've gone to the old failsafe of eBay, independent stockists. I'm not going to name any. Just I don't get myself in trouble by naming any names, but people out there know where the independent stockists are, and they're gonna go, because okay, there's some things that I'll still buy from the shop, like paints. You get paint from Games Workshop, it's £2.80. And then you get a paint from independent stockist, you may save yourself, I don't know, 50p off the price, but then the postage is £2, so it's not necessarily cost effective. But like these Trigons, I'm not sure how much they are. I think they're about 30 something quid in the shop or whatever. But basically it worked out that by buying them from independent stockists, even covering postage, I saved over £10 on 2 Trigons. So, this is what's going to happen, and Games Workshop are going to push everyone to the point where no one's going to buy from them anymore, and they're going to stagnate their own market, and they're going to alienate themselves and lose their entire customer base. And from a hobbyist point of view, obviously we want the price to come down, but even from a business point of view, it makes sense not to, overcharge your market, because people's incomes are only going to be able to support it for so long. So that's kind of really all I wanted to say about it, I think. Actually, no, there is one more point. Now, I was saying, you can handle price hikes, and it annoys me when, the quantity of your kits decreases and decreases and decreases. It seems with every price hike you get one less thing in the box that you were going to buy initially. But then you couple this with the fact that, every few episodes, editions of White Dwarf, there seems to be an article seemingly as if Games Workshop are bragging that they've made their production methods more efficient. Now, for those that operate within a business world and understand the business terminology, being more efficient essentially means cheaper. Yeah, people sugarcoat it by saying, oh, it's efficient because we can make more in less time, and the production methods are easier now. But essentially, it's just a measure to save money. So Games Workshop not only are increasing the prices and decreasing the quantity of their plastic kits, but also their production costs are coming down. So they're just widening their margin from two aspects. You know, normally you want to see something like this. Cost line is here, and then this is the profit line. As you increase price, this goes up. The profit line increases and increases and increases. What you don't want to see is when you've got a cost line and a profit line, you don't want this to happen. Because when your customers get wind that this is happening, that's when people start losing faith in the business. And that's when your customers get disinterested and disconcerted with your operating practice. So either they need to stop increasing prices, which is easy to say from a customer's point of view, or get back to the old ways where they're actually making the kits value for money and stop making the kits as lean as possible just to keep people happy. I mean, what's going to happen next? That in a tactical marine box you don't even get a sergeant, or you get 9 marines, so you have to buy the snap fit marines just to fill one? You know, where does it end? The lunacy of cutting down the kits knows no bounds if you carry on. I mean, you even get to the point now where they're not even releasing models for what's in the codex. Now, understand that, you know, timeline wise things can't all be released at the same time, and etc, etc. But you're going to end up with the point we had with the Storm Raven, where there's a massive debate about what it should actually look like. There's no picture given, and you know, people could pretty much model anything exactly how they wanted it, model it in game terms to give themselves the biggest advantage, and no one could say anything. Now I'd say it's similar to Tyranids. You know, some of the models we need, the most important models we need, we don't get. The Doom of Malantine, for example, probably one of the most used Tyranid units out there, second to the, you know, the standard Gene Stealer Gorn Trigon combo or whatever. There's no model for it. You have to make your own conversion. Speaking of which, I've got mine here. You know, you have to make a conversion for these things. Same with the Tervigon, and then it just makes people buy more kits. And believe me, I can completely see it from a business point of view. It makes absolute golden sense because you make people spend more money. But Games Workshop should understand their own target market. They should understand where people are coming from and how people in a hobby related business and in a hobby in general don't want the hobby to cost too much money. So basically the point is, where does it end? And our Games Workshop really digging their own grave here, because I know myself that if the prices get any higher, I'm not going to continue playing, or I'm not going to continue purchasing, even from independent stockists, because that's another thing. You know, when Games Workshop increase their prices, independent stockists do too. I think AG Productions did a similar video on it, saying that, you know, people not happy with a 40 or 50% markup on the products. That's fantastic margins. So you're making, you know, almost 100% on your thing. I mean, independent stockists I think get like a 50% discount. I mean, I'm not sure on the facts, but I'm pretty sure they get 50% discount when they buy from Nestrade, if you look into it. I mean, I've looked into it myself because I actually want to start my own store. So when you go Nestrade, I think you get a 50% discount. So why are these independent stockists selling, you know, some of them at the same price as Games Workshop? And why, when the prices go up, do they have to put the prices up? You could easily take the minimum margin, give a 30% discount, and just completely annihilate the market. But again, I'm going off topic here, so I'm going to leave that there. And so basically, you know how the comment thing works, guys. Just let me know what you think, and let's get a debate going. You know, how long are you going to continue to play this hobby? You know, at what point does it become too expensive for you? And it's just some discussionary points. You know, use the comment box below. Let's get a decent debate going, guys. All right, I'm out. Later.